Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a good day or night, depending on what time it is, wherever you are. But thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today, I'm gonna be talking about um, my trip and experiences to the U.S. Virgin Islands. I specifically went to St. Thomas, as you can see. I'm here to give you my personal experience, my overall thinking of St. Thomas, and talk about everything that you know I've experienced, and the pros to the vacation, the cons to it, what to expect, things like that. I don't expect this video to be perfect. This is my first YouTube video I'm doing, so I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, just give others out there a better insight about going to St. Thomas, if you got any plans to go or want to go sometime in the future. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so St. Thomas. Me personally, I live in Virginia. Um, Me and my wife, we flew to Miami, I believe it was. We flew out of Richmond. We stopped in Miami, and basically went straight to the Virgin Islands. When we went, uh, it was a bit cloudy. I would tell you about the first appearance on the plane of getting to the island, what it was like and what we seen, but it was a bit cloudy. Um, so, um, Before I jump into details about the Virgin Islands, let me just tell you from my personal experience. It rains quite a bit there. It does. I'd say we stayed about 6 nights there. And for the first 2 days, it was consistent rain. It was. So, we had to wait about 2 days for that to fly over and clear. Um, but Other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so our first insight of St. Thomas when we arrived, the airport was fairly small. As there's places here in Virginia as well that's got small airports, like for example, Lynchburg, Virginia's got fairly small airport. I had to say the airport in Lynchburg, Virginia was just a little bigger than the one in St. Thomas, but then again, it is a small island, and as far as the cost of everything, it costs just a bit more, I guess, for them to receive shipment of goods and things like that. So expect prices to be a little higher in St. Thomas as well, depending on where you're living. I know here, compared to where I live in Virginia, the prices is a little bit higher. I've been to places like far as New York, Colorado, places like that. And it's not as expensive as New York, but just expect prices to be a little higher than average. All right, so yeah, with that said, um, we arrived. The scenery was beautiful, as you would expect. Palm trees basically just about everywhere. The weather is really nice. Little to no humidity whatsoever. Even on the rainy days, it still feels comfortable. All year round, nice, comfortable temperatures. Nice summer temperatures. Probably some cool days depending on the time of year and amount of rain, etc. So, I mean, yeah, when we arrived, it was very, very nice. I've never been to Florida or anything like that, just flown through Florida, staying at the airport, waiting on the connected flights, things like that. But yeah, the temperature was very, very nice. That's what caught my eye immediately. Temperature was very nice. Um, we ended up getting a taxi from the airport to our car rental. We decided to rent a car, best way to get around, because taxi fees there it can be quite expensive as well. So, part of our package, renting the car and everything, they had somebody come to the airport and pick us up to take us to our car we rented. So, what we noticed immediately when we got picked up by the taxi driver, he was driving on the left-hand side of the road. I'm like, oh wow, this is new by me. This is a total new experience. As most know, that's from the United States. We don't drive on the left-hand side of the road. So yeah, definitely something very different and very eye-opening. So yeah, basically everything's on the left in St. Thomas. So every road we drove on, we was on the left-hand side of the road, and you had to stay on the left-hand side of the road no matter what, no matter where you are or what you're doing, you got to stay on the left-hand side of the road. So yeah, he drove us to our car rental, and I done a little research and watched some videos previous to us going, and they said, if you do rent anything in St. Thomas, to make sure you get a truck or SUV. And the reason why you want to get a truck or SUV is just explanatory, really, once you get on to the roads. They have potholes, quite a bit of potholes, no matter where you go. And some roads are better than others. There was some roads we did experience that, took it a step beyond potholes, that had actual holes in the road that could seriously do some damage to your vehicle if you don't watch out. So, yeah, definitely be careful of that. If I was you, I was renting a vehicle, definitely hands down, get you a truck or SUV. There's no amount of money you could pay me to drive a car in St. Thomas. I would not do it. Absolutely not. Um, Also, the roads are very narrow. So, like I said, the roads differ. They're all a little different from each other. Um, some roads are so narrow to where you have to stop and pull over far as you can just to let, an oncoming vehicle get past you, just to have enough clearance and to be safe, basically. So, definitely watch out for that. Um, Beautiful views, though. You're mostly driving up or down mountains or hillsides. That's basically all it is. It's rarely any straight flat roads or anything like that. So definitely expect to be, varying driving conditions of going up or down mountains or hillsides. So definitely expect that. The speed limit there, if I'm not mistaken, it ranges between maybe 25 to 35 miles an hour. You'd be lucky to get 40 miles an hour. I don't think there's a speed limit for 40, but I know it's definitely 35. And unless you get on the highway, of course. But far as the main, back roads or island roads, as you will, that drives throughout the mountains, yeah, you probably won't see a speed limit that exceeds 35 miles an hour. The people there, uh, I love I love St. Thomas, don't get me wrong. I hope those that live there or from there that's watching this video doesn't take this the wrong way, but the driving there is pretty, how can I put this? It's very, maniac-like driving. I'm sorry I put it like that, but, you know, with me and my wife's first time there for 6 nights, the driving was just very, very stressful, very hectic. Um, People drive like complete maniacs there. The speed limit sign 35, they'll do more like 45 or 50, maybe over that. Yeah. They they definitely don't believe in giving you safe space. They will ride your bumper. They definitely will. It kind of puts me in the mind of New York driving, actually. Just, the only difference is it's on the island, pretty much. Different scenery, different roads, things like that. But other than that, the drive is still basically very comparable to New York. People get road rage there. I've seen that quite a bit. Me personally, from my experience, I had people beeping the horn, giving me the finger, things like that. So, yeah, not too much different from New York style driving. Okay, the racial makeup there of St. Thomas. So, what to expect there when you go there, you're thinking, oh, okay, it's a U.S. territory, things like that. I've did a little research myself to see, basically what it's like, and they said the number one race makeup in St. Thomas is Jamaicans. And then they said second, it would probably be a small percentage of Hispanics, probably. I forgot the exact number or percentage of Hispanics. And then thirdly, many American tourists, ranging from many different races, and basically the only Caucasians that lived there, from what I seen, was wealthy American Caucasians that live there. So yeah, it's just something else that I learned, and I'll be quite honest with you. Like I said, I love St. Thomas. That live there, please do not take this the wrong way. But most people that live there are just surprisingly rude. They are. I'm sorry. I'm not saying everyone that lives there is rude, but from me and my wife's experience, a lot of people there are very rude. You go to talk to them, ask them any questions, they just give you like a rude tone, rude response, or just plain out rude. Honestly, like I said, we've met some people there that was fairly decent. You know, kind of polite and helped us out along the way. But yeah, most people there are rude, and that kills me to say that. I hate talk down or so negatively like that, but it's very true. Definitely from our experience. So yeah, just something to watch out for. Try to get the layout of the place the best that you can. Do your research. See where the best places is to fit your needs or interest. Um, Also, speaking about how you drive on the left-hand side of the road, it's crazy because, well, me and my wife, we went to the grocery store. Even when you enter the front doors to enter the grocery store, you have to stick to the left-hand side of the doors. They're automatic doors, the place we went to. So, you know, like here at home, you just go on the right-hand side of any door, and usually it typically opens. But yeah, there at St. Thomas, if you see two double automatic doors, you go to the right hand side of it, it's not gonna open. That's actually gonna be the exit to the grocery store. So you would go to the left side of the automatic door, and that would open. Like I said, the driving's on the left hand side, and it also goes for entering most buildings. You got to go on the left hand side of the building to entrance the building. So it's pretty crazy how they, strictly believe in left side this, left side that. They do believe in that, as me and my wife seen. And also about the grocery store, when you go inside of it, it is a lot different, I'm sure, compared to where you're from. Um, when we went into the grocery store, first thing we noticed is it's basically like a wholesale type deal, as you will. So it's not like, get one little box of cereal or one little normal package of eggs, anything like that. No, it's everything's, I'm not gonna say everything, but a lot of things are in bulk. So, if you buy a box of cereal, it's either gonna come in two choices for you. A very, very gigantic big bag of cereal, a resealable bag of cereal, or way bigger than a mega box of cereal, bigger than a family size, anything like that. So, they do believe in bulk size things as well in the grocery store. And like I said, the eggs, you go to, get a 12 pack of eggs or anything like that, you're going to get very, very big cartons of eggs as well. So, yeah, it's definitely different from here in some ways. It really is. And like I said, the prices can be fairly higher. Um, Far as the gas prices, I couldn't tell you. I've only filled up maybe one or two times. I didn't pay attention to that, and kind of kicking myself in the rear for that, because that definitely would have helped and would have been a key topic to discuss. But you just expect prices at the grocery store to be a bit higher. Far as going out to eat, it can be kind of expensive as well. It all depends where you eat. Me and my wife, we went to McDonald's one night, and I'll have to say the prices of McDonald's there was fairly similar to here in Virginia. So, that wasn't too much difference, surprisingly. Um, but yeah, the roads are rough. That's the number one thing to watch out for as well. There's literally potholes almost everywhere. You might get lucky and get on some roads that's fairly decent and good, smooth riding roads, but for the most part, you will encounter potholes. If not potholes, there will be actual gigantic holes in the road to where you really gotta watch out for, because you take your vehicle through that, it's going to be pretty concerning. It is. So, if I see anything like that, I just, you know, looking all around me to make sure I'm clear to bypass any holes or anything. I definitely swerve and try to miss the hole as much as possible. If you have no choice and you got to drive through it, just try to take it slow as you can and just be very careful and very easy. You know, the roads can have quite a bit of traffic depending on where you're at as well. Um, but like I said, it does rain there a lot. It does. So definitely, you know, um, watch out for that. If you got anything planned far as going to the beach, going swimming, anything like that, definitely check in with the forecast. Go ahead and get a heads up on things like that. Um, and if you do go to the beach, also, it is illegal to put on any standard type of sunscreen. They're very protectant over their, um, I guess, marine life there, the water, things like that. So the only sunscreen that you are legally able to wear in St. Thomas, as far as I've read, is natural mineral sunscreen. Just look for a mineral type of sunscreen. It's probably a certain type of ingredient in there that's listed. I don't know what it is exactly, but I just know that it's natural mineral sunscreen. And if you get caught not using that sunscreen and you use your typical, random everyday sunscreen, and they happen to see you putting it on or happen to check the labels and see that it's not the natural mineral sunscreen lotion, you can get fined up to possibly thousands of dollars. And if I'm not mistaken, you can actually serve jail sentence time for that as well. So yeah, they're pretty strict about that. Um, from what I read anyway, they say that they're pretty strict about it. But, with our experience going, they didn't have people there looking at your sunscreen or reading it and seeing if it's the correct sunscreen to wear there or anything like that. But, me and my wife, we followed the rules because, one, we do care about the environment and things like that, first off. And, second off, reading the rules about the sunscreen, we 100% agree with it. It's not going to hurt anything. Might as well do the right thing. Might as well look out after our environment. So we did. I will say though, the all natural mineral sunscreen lotion will cost you a little bit more than your typical standard sunscreen lotion. Um, I want to say for a decent sized bottle, I think it was maybe around that tall, something like that, give or take. It cost us about $8, I want to say, possibly a little more. But it was worth it. We're staying there for 6 nights, so whatever. Be respectful. Go ahead and get that. Don't be tight with your money. Don't take no chances. Don't get no regular standard sunscreen lotion, because there's always that chance that they will catch on to it. They'll read the labels, and you just don't want to get hit with thousands of dollars of fees or possibly jail time. So just do the right thing. At least I recommend do what you want to, but that's just me. What else? The scenery there, the beaches and everything at St. Thomas, absolutely beautiful. I've read that some of the beaches, well, not specifically on St. Thomas, more of like St. John and things like that, has the most beautiful beaches in the world. I can definitely believe that. For example, they say the most beautiful beaches there are Trunk Bay, I think Hawks Nest Beach, a few other little places like that on St. John. They say it's some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. Like I said, I could definitely believe that. Me and my wife personally, we didn't go to St. John. We stayed on St. Thomas. And another thing that I'm gonna get at about taking a ferry, island hopping. If you rent a car, at least it applies to the place we rented the car, anyways. Um, they're very, very strict about this. It's one of the number one things they said. If you rent a vehicle and you take it to the beach and things like that, definitely make sure that you rinse off as much as possible all the sand that's on your body, because if you get any sand that sticks in the carpet of the vehicle or in the seats and you don't clean it up, they will charge you an extra fee for that, and it's a hefty fee. I believe it's at least a minimum of $100 they charge you, if not more, for them to clean your sand out of their vehicle. So, something me and my wife done. It sounds a little funny, but it was very effective. It worked very nicely. We basically took some large trash bags and cut holes like at the bottom of the bag, and we pulled them over the seat, pulled the headrest through the hole of the trash bag, and virtually covered every bit of the seat. That worked very nicely, very effective. Put some trash bags down on the floor as well, to prevent any sand from knocking off your feet, legs, anything like that that could possibly get onto the carpet. That worked very well. We actually lined the whole back seat as well with trash bags, just in case you got to put any supplies or gear up in the back. But like I said, we run at an SUV, so mostly everything we did put up anyway went into the very rear of the SUV, popped the trunk, and we also aligned that with trash bags too to be safe, just to prevent, you know, any kind of sand or anything like that getting stuck into the carpets or anywhere in the vehicle. So, like I said, the trash bag concept was very, very effective. I would definitely recommend that to you guys. Like I said, it looks a little funny, it sounds funny, things like that. But hey, if it works, it works. So, definitely recommend on doing that. That definitely saved us a lot of cleaning. Don't get me wrong, you can't prevent all particles of sand from not getting into the carpets or interior of the vehicle. Like I said, it helped out a lot. You would be surprised how much sand and things like that, happen to stay in the area of the trash bags. But like I said, it's not gonna cover every part of the vehicle and prevent sand from getting in any part of the vehicle. So basically, when we removed the trash bags and everything, we seen there was sand like on the outskirts of the floorboard, and the carpet that was separating the door and the seats, or the console and the seats, etc. Things like that, just little fine spaces. But we went ahead and vacuumed it out before we took it back, just so it wasn't no complaints. And wasn't really much we had to vacuum, surprisingly. It was just a little sand here or there, but nothing that was too alarming, nothing too concerned to be about. So yeah, definitely, I would definitely do that just to be safe though. Definitely, you don't want to pay that couple $100 fee for that and have to deal with the headache with that. But something else I'm gonna get about, like I was saying, you can island hop there. So if you rent a car, they actually got ferries that run. It's either every hour or every so many few hours. They got ferries that basically go back and forth to islands, to where I forgot how much it costs exactly. I want to say it's at least $20 or so to take the ferry with your car to go to another island. So they got a ferry that you can drive your car on, and you pay around $20 or so, maybe a little more, to take your car to another island. So you can go to St. John or St. Croix, which is three islands that make up the Virgin Islands. If you don't know that, yeah, it's three islands. So you got St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. St. John, they say, is very beautiful. It's at least 60 to 70% covered by national forest, things like that. So, you know, if you're all about hiking and being out in nature and seeing wilderness, things like that, St. John is definitely your choice to go to. St. Croix is kind of like that, but I think it is more actual roads and more attractions, things like that in St. Croix. They say St. Croix is beautiful as well, got beautiful beaches, nice clear water. Like I said, me and my wife, we didn't go to St. John, we just stayed on St. Thomas, but it's something we wanted to do, but far as the rain and things we wanted to do, you know, the 6 nights just came quicker than expected, so maybe another time, but yeah, St. Thomas is very nice though still. Even though they say the better beaches is on, you know, St. John and St. Croix. I will say we went to some people call it Megan's Bay, but I think the right sorry, I'm getting a little tongue tied here. The right pronunciation is Megan's beach, I believe it is. At least that's what the GPS called it. So yeah, we were staying in the area called Anna's Retreat. We found it on went through Expedia and they went through Verbo to find the place we stayed at. Very, very beautiful house. Very nice people as well. The people that own the I guess you could call it house or apartment, maybe more of an apartment because there was another building attached. So I guess it put off more of an apartment. Um, Type of feel to us, but the people that owned it was actually from the mainland here in the United States, and the guy that owned it, he said he actually rode through the Blue Ridge Mountains and things like that, you know, which is lies in several states, and one of them happens to be in Virginia, where I'm from, so I thought that was pretty neat. And very, very nice married couple, very respectful. If I could remember their name offhand, I would definitely recommend on checking them out and definitely giving it a try there and staying there. It was so beautiful. It was very nice place. I think in all for 6 nights it cost us right around $1,000. So not too bad. You know, there's places that's far more expensive, and like I said, it was a very beautiful place. It reminded you of like somewhere that a rich person would live. It's very, very beautiful. You know, you walked in, you had your living room there, you had your bathroom with 2 sinks and everything, beautiful shower, enormous bedroom, nice balcony. You could walk out and see the ocean. It was very beautiful. But yeah, so let's get into beaches. As far as beaches in St. Thomas, we went to go and at least visit 2 different beaches. The first beach we went to go visit was Megan's Bay, whatever you prefer to call it, or Maggins. There's actually different ways to pronounce it. But anyway, that's voted as one of the most beautiful beaches in the world as well. And it definitely lived up to its reputation. You got to pay for parking and things like that, and got to pay for, let's see, I think the parking with me and my wife, it was around $20. So expect, I don't know, a little over $10 per person. Couldn't remember exactly. But when you do get down there, you also have to pay for lounge chairs, and it comes with, you know, it's got umbrella set up along the beach as well. So basically, you just pay for your lounge chair. You look for an empty space that's got an umbrella, and you just set up there. So, and since we're talking about things there and prices, I will also mention, um, definitely watch out for the price of food there. If I was you, I would recommend on bringing food to the beach. That's something me and my wife did not do. We probably could have saved money if we did so. But if you go to, you know, the little area where they cook and got the bars and things like that, expect to pay a pretty penny. Definitely so. On at Megan's Bay Beach, it's got a gift shop off to the side. You know, prices is pretty fair, I guess. I guess you could probably find places a little cheaper, but I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? It's on a beautiful beach like that, and of course things are gonna be a little higher as a tourist attraction. So yeah, the gift shop was pretty nice. It was had a lot of different things in there, a lot of things to look at. But if you go to, like I was getting at about the food, if you go to pay for the food, expect to pay. I think we paid right at $18 for a cheeseburger with fries. And that's not including the drink or anything. So just a cheeseburger with fries was $18 each. Cost me and my wife. Drinks, I think they can be around $4 each, possibly higher. So like I said, expect high prices at St. Thomas, definitely so. Um, but yeah, we basically just ate a cheeseburger, had a drink there, and stayed there a few hours. As far as the scenery at Magens Bay, absolutely beautiful. It's got your palm trees lined up down the beach, very nice. Nice white powdery sand, really soft. It stretches for a little ways. You got mountainsides that surround the beach. You got one little island in front of you at Magens Bay at the beach. The water is just unbelievably clear. It just seems like you can see far out for the longest ways there. Very, very clear with a little hint of a bluish, light blue color, I guess you could say. Very little far as the blue color, but mostly clear. Definitely mostly clear. Um, that's where you're gonna find most of your tourists at as well. When we went, it was a lot of American tourists. A lot of American tourists, obviously from here in the mainland. People from around where we was from, the Carolinas, all the way up to New York, Florida, places like that. So very nice scenery, very relaxing, very enjoyable. Definitely recommend on going to Magens Bay. That's a guaranteed. If you go and you don't visit Magens Bay, you're definitely going to miss out on far as the whole Caribbean experience. Something I would definitely describe St. Thomas as Magens Bay. Definitely recommend on going there. Yeah, it was so nice. We went back 3 different times actually. We didn't care about the price to get in, the price of the chairs, anything like that. It was just so breathtaking, so beautiful, very, very pleasant. And, probably one of the best places we ever been to. Um, Now, like I said, before I got with my wife, I've been to New York, I've been to Denver, Colorado, Pueblo, Colorado, been to North Carolina. My wife is actually from New York. Um, she's originally from Guatemala. She's lived in New York for um, over 10 years or so. So, we met through Facebook dating. Things went good. We ended up getting married a year or so after then, and we're going on about 3 years strong. So, it's definitely a blessing for me and her. But, like I said, I've been to several different places. I've been to her home country in Guatemala. I have to say the next most beautiful place that compares to St. Thomas is Guatemala. Guatemala has very nice things as well, but I guess I can leave that for another video. But basically what I'm saying is St. Thomas is by far the most relaxing, beautiful place I've ever been to. It's worth every penny. So don't hesitate if you got any ideas of going, or excuse me, or if you want to's of going there specifically, definitely do it. Don't hesitate. Just go there. Just do it. Money can always replenish itself over time. It always comes back if you work for it. So I mean, hey, you only live once. Go ahead and live that Caribbean experience. St. Thomas is definitely worth that. And off to the second beach we went to. We went to a beach called Sapphire Beach, which is on the eastern part of St. Thomas. So Magens Bay is basically like the center of the island up north, on the north side of the island in the center. And Sapphire Beach is more east, I guess. Not completely east, but you know, it's very close to the eastern side of St. Thomas. Sapphire Beach, in my opinion, I actually love that a little bit more than Magens Bay. My wife, she preferred Magens Bay, but Sapphire Beach is just, it was an eye opener for me. Same deal. When you go to the beach, you got to pay for the parking. You got to pay for your lounge chairs. Um, Basically, I think it's around the same price. Definitely make sure when you go to the little booth to pay for your parking, tell them that you want to rent a lounge chair as well, because they will just give you the parking ticket, and that's where we might have made a mistake at Sapphire Beach. We went down there, paid for the parking, and I went to go grab a lounge chair, and they asked if we had our ticket to look at a ticket, because you got to tape on a ticket to the back of your lounge chair for verification that you purchased the lounge chair. So, you know, the guy asked for the ticket. I told him the lady never give us a ticket, and he asked that we pay for the lounge chairs, and I told him I don't think so. You know, we just pay for the parking. And basically, I had to run all the way back up to the booth and pay for 2 lounge chairs for me and my wife, and had to run all the way back down to the beach and show them the ticket that we could tape onto our lounge chairs. So definitely check in when you do your parking. Just tell them that, you know, you're there to purchase lounge chairs as well. But with Magens Bay, it's different because you pay for your park and you go down to the beach. There's a little shack at Magens Bay you can go to, and you can talk to the guy and tell him you would like to purchase some lounge chairs to set under an umbrella and things like that, and he'll give you the ticket there. But Sapphire Beach is different because you do have to tell them that you want to purchase lounge chairs, to rent the lounge chairs while you're paying for your parking. So definitely mention that you want lounge chairs as well when you do your parking. If not, you'll have to run back up to the little shack and purchase the lounge chairs, which is just time consuming and frustrating. But first thing I noticed about Sapphire Beach though, it had piles and piles of seaweed on the beach. So not exactly a beautiful beach. Don't get me wrong, it's still nice. It's still got your palm trees. I believe the sand was just a little darker in color compared to Magens Bay, but still fairly white, you know. I say between a beige and white color of sand. Like I said, piles of seaweed. You can catch the people that works on the beach just raking in seaweed and big piles separating each other. You'll also notice quite a bit of seaweed in the water. Not too much. It's not overwhelming or anything, but it's just enough to notice that there is seaweed in the water. First appearance of the water there is what I love the most. Why I would say it's my favorite beach. The water had literally a Gatorade blue color. So very nice light blue color, absolutely beautiful. Somewhat clear, but definitely not as clear as Magens Bay. Hands down, Magens Bay, it's just unbelievably clear. Like you can see for a long ways at Magens Bay or Magens Beach, whatever you like to call it. Very clear water there. Like I said, Sapphire Beach is just known for its Gatorade blue color. Very beautiful to me, anyways. I just love different shades of blue. And there at Sapphire Blue, the further you looked out in different parts you looked at, it had different shades of blue as well. Very nice, very nice. Also at Sapphire Beach, we seen some really big iguanas there as well. You know, if you're worried about reptiles and don't trust them and things like that, I guess I can understand, but they're no they're no cause for concern. They mostly stick to themselves. They're a little wary of humans as well, so they'll keep their distance from you. You know, I did see them going near people's luggage and things like that. I seen one walk up to a couple's seating area with the lounge chairs, and it was just like looking at their bags and things like that. But it didn't like, you know, take a step beyond that and like stick its head in any bags or do any further investigation, as you will. It just kind of glanced at their luggage and continued on along his way. But yeah, they're surprisingly pretty big in color. It's crazy because on their back and their head, like little fins that stick out, or scales, as you will, was like a dark reddish color, and their chest and underbelly was actually a very light blue, which matched the water there at Sapphire Beach. So, it's just crazy how they can resemble their environment so much, how well they can blend in and adapt to any environment like that. That was pretty neat to see as well. You'll also see free range chickens basically no matter where you go. That's something I failed to mention earlier. So if you go into the city part of even the city part of St. Thomas, every once in a while you will see some free roaming chickens. You will. Um, we've seen them around Walgreens, things like that. They're along the beaches along with iguanas, but it's nothing like an overwhelming number of chickens and iguanas. You'll just see some here and there. Um, but yeah, that's something else I figured I'd tell you guys about. Um, Sorry about that. Sorry for the interruption. But anyway, where was I at? But yeah, you'll see some chickens and iguanas there. Like I said, nothing to be concerned about. The iguanas keep to themselves, so no worry about that. They're pretty wary of humans. They'll get fairly close to you, but it's not like they're gonna get all up in your personal space and look like they're gonna inflict any harm or pose a threat. So no worries there as far as the iguanas. Um, a lot of drinking happens on the beach, especially with tourists and even the people that live there. A lot of alcohol consumption. So if that's your thing, hey, you'll be right at home with that. Me personally, I stopped drinking years ago. Um, but yeah, if you go into the city of St. Thomas as well, very beautiful architectural buildings, nice scenery, very good foods to eat there as well. I will mention though, me and my wife tried to look for some authentic Caribbean food, and for some reason it was very hard to find there, believe it or not. You would think, a place like that would have places that has authentic Caribbean food, but believe it or not, St. Thomas does resemble a lot like the mainland here in the United States. So expect to see, fast food chains and restaurants that you would see here down in St. Thomas as well. For example, there's quite a few McDonald's, there's some Wendy's, there's some Taco Bells, Pizza Huts, Domino's, KFC, just places like that. It is like you might have some restaurants that's obviously not from the mainland, that's not from here, you know their own family owned restaurants. You might find some that sell seafood and things like that. But as far as authentic, real deal Caribbean food, it was a challenge. It was hard for me and my wife to find that there. The closest that we ate, far as Caribbean food, I don't even know if you would compare it to Caribbean food or not, but we actually found some Dominican food there, authentic Dominican food that was very, very good. So, if you like any kind of Spanish food or anything like that, that's a very good choice. The Dominican food was excellent. Basically, doesn't matter what you get, it's all going to be good. They cook it right there in front of your eyes. The place we went to, anyway, they got open grills out in the outdoor area. You can see them cook and all the choices they have. So that was pretty nice. Um, but most important thing, just watch out for the cost of things there. Like I said, it's more expensive than here in the mainland. It's not like I said, it's not as expensive as New York, some places in New York or things like that, but it's still pretty stout in price. Depends on where you go, what you get. Getting back to the cities there in St. Thomas, very nice. A lot of different stores. You got Main Street there as well. They got a Main Street. Um, Very beautiful Main Street was. Um, had some nice stores, luxury places as well. So, if you like your designer stuff, they have that there. If you like things like Rolex watches, they actually have a Rolex store there as well. But I will say, just watch out some places you do go to there. Um, it can be some bad parts. Like everywhere, you always have your bad places. But, basically behind Main Street is like a poverty area. It's more how can I put this? It's more slums like, I guess you could say. So if you do go behind Main Street, it's like a slum area, so definitely watch out, especially at nighttime. If you don't have no business being out there, definitely don't take a chance. Don't spend your time in areas like that. I know riding through, me and my wife, we actually seen, as it appeared to us, it looked like it was prostitutes in broad daylight. You see some drug deals going on, people handing bags of things, couldn't tell what it was or anything, but we accidentally rode through that area because unfortunately our GPS was giving us different routes and everything like that to where we were going. So, we actually got a experience of that place as well, and I highly recommend to stay away from areas like that. As far as the slum parts, definitely don't want to take no chances there. Um, but like I said, overall, beautiful places in St. Thomas, very beautiful cities. Different activities you can do as well. You can, go snorkeling there. You can take boats and do different water activities there. You can go visit different islands there. And also, I don't think I mentioned this yet, but unlike the mainland here in the United States, if you go to the Virgin Islands, your jewelry there basically is tax free. So, no taxes on jewelry, really, things like that. So you don't have to go through no middleman or pay any extra tax fees or anything like that as far as jewelry. Just watch out if you do any kind of jewelry shopping there, because me and my wife, we went to the mall there. And also to mention, the malls there is fairly different and really unique. When you go there, they actually have open shops. So you walk down sidewalks and they have their doors open, and it's basically like walk-in shops and stores and things like that you can check out there. So definitely different than the malls here in the mainland. Definitely a cool, neat experience. But as I was saying about the jewelry, just watch out where you get it. Make sure it's a well-known jewelry store and one you feel confident in and that you can trust. Me and my wife, we went in this store, which this gift shop, as you will, and it kind of raised suspicion. We should have knew better. But we walked in there, they had typical souvenirs to sell, like hats, shirts, clothes, keychains, things like that. And they also sold alcohol and cigarettes in there, which that should have been a red flag right there, I guess, of showing as authentic, authenticity. Sorry, I'm getting tongue tied here today. But yeah, just definitely watch out where you get your jewelry from. Continuing on that story, me and my wife went in there. It was this Indian guy that owned it, and he had some jewelry and, fairly good prices on it and things. So I got me a gold, pretty decent thick rope chain. I think about that thick or so. A nice gold rope chain. Paid for that. And my wife got a necklace as well. And honestly, we kind of luckily got away with this deal. When we got back to the place we was renting, the internet said a way to test it and see if it was real was to put a drop of white vinegar onto the jewelry, wait around 45 minutes or so. If it showed a black mark or a green mark on it after rubbing it off within 45-minute period, if it was any green or black mark, it was obviously fake. It's not real jewelry because supposedly gold doesn't turn any type of color, if it's real. So we did that, and unfortunately, it left a black mark on, the necklace and things like that. So it was 100% fake. So we had to go back to the shop and, basically, my wife tried telling them, hey, this is fake jewelry, this and that, and showed him the mark on the jewelry. And he was trying to say, well, did you go and get it tested? Did you do anything to the jewelry for it to appear, the discoloration on the jewelry, things like that? And we told him, we kind of lied a little bit. We're like, no, the mark was on there when we got the jewelry, which it wasn't. The mark obviously showed up when we tested it to see if it was real jewelry. But either way, hey, serves them right. You don't try to get over on people, charge them X amount of money for so-called real jewelry just for it to turn out to be fake. So, I don't feel bad for them at all. You just, you don't do that to people. So it's good that we checked that. And, after almost 30 minutes or so of, arguing with him, he eventually gave us a refund back and took the fake jewelry back, but he tried his best to convince us, saying it was real jewelry, showing us receipts of where he got it from. Supposedly it come from somewhere in Canada or was shipped to Canada. It was supposed to be Italian jewelry, but yeah, pretty slick talker. He just about got over on us. We almost fell for it, but it's always good to be safe than sorry. So, checking the jewelry was definitely a plus on our part. But yeah, it definitely is tax-free jewelry over there. So definitely take advantage of that. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's better to just stick to like the actual city parts of St. Thomas or Main Street where they got the legit real jewelry shops. That would be your best bet, and to go check them out. Just stay away from places like the mall, like we did, because it's a high chance that you're gonna get fake jewelry at the mall, unfortunately. So just look for a legitimate jewelry shop, in the city area or near the Main Street part of St. Thomas. Um, But yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this video. But I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to review this video, to give you a better insight of St. Thomas, to give you some inside points if you're thinking about going. Like I said, if you plan on going, I definitely would go. Like I said, me personally, it was worth every penny to me. For 6 nights, as far as the plane ticket price for 6 nights from Richmond Airport to St. Thomas, round trip 6 nights, it cost us just a little over $1,000. So I mean, hey, not too terribly bad. You can go to places here in the mainland that's gonna cost you about the same, if not more. So, not a bad deal. And like I said, for the 6 nights that we run at the place we were staying at, it was around $1,000 or so. So everything included with the 2 round trip plane tickets from Virginia to St. Thomas for 6 nights, the place we were staying at for 6 nights, and the rental vehicle price for 6 nights, all together, it cost us, let's see, I would say comfortably in between $1,200 to $1,300 for 6 nights with everything. So, not too terribly bad. It's really not if you think about it. But like I said, if you have any wants or thoughts of going to St. Thomas, definitely do it. Take advantage of that. It's worth it. Like I said, the only thing to really be worried about is definitely the traffic there. Like I said, there's going to be some rude people there. Not everyone's rude, but it has its fair share of rude people. So watch out for traffic. Try to ignore the rude people the best that you can. You know, you're there for vacation. Don't let that stress you out. Don't let that ruin your day. It did to me for the first day or two, but you know, I kind of figured that's how it was gonna be, no matter what, with our whole time staying there. So I just learned to get around it, learned to get a grip on it, and just ignored it the best way I could. Um, but yeah, St. Thomas is definitely a hidden gem. Definitely worth going to. Like I said, it's worth every penny. It's on the list for some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and you know, with me personally experiencing that, I agree 100%. So yeah, definitely check out St. Thomas. It's definitely gonna be worth every second, every penny. It's gonna be worth it all. So yeah, definitely check it out. And like I said, I'm glad I could be here to give you guys a little insight. Um, don't think about it, just act, just do it. That's what me and my wife did anyway, and it paid off. It was well worth it. So, again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I could provide some useful information to you guys. But if you have any questions or you know wondering anything else for St. Thomas, just go ahead and drop a comment. Um, Definitely make sure to go and drop a like on the video as well. That'll be very helpful as well. And again, thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your day.